Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for today's upload. Basically today, out of requests, I'm gonna make a video of how to begin if you have around 100,000 coins, how to reach all the way up to maybe 500k before you really can start trading with special cards. So before that, let's begin with the transfer list. I do want to share a few sales that I've made before we jump into that. So I got a lazy sale there on Jenny. I had bought him at 48k, so that's some pretty good profit there. Weghorst, I had only one left, which was in my club. 24k, it was bought at around 12 and a half, so around double on that. Borja Valero, I had him in my club since I don't know when, but he was bought at basically discard price. I managed to sell him at 27, so that's good as well. Wesley, same thing. I think I do have this card for over 2 or 3 months, but I just never was reaching that point because I do have around 2,200 players in my club, so I never really reached all the way to maybe page 20, 25 to see that I had him. But today I had a look, and 19k was pretty much what I got for him, and this was also bought at around 12k. So that's some good profit there. Same thing as with Wesley. I also had a Lafont, which I took the coins on, 18k. Then we did get the UCL SBC, which I did speak about in yesterday's upload. If you guys watched the video, then I did say about investing in those cards. They did go up by a fair bit, which I managed to sell the players, and I did complete the SBC, which in the very first pack that I opened, which I do think was something mixed with silvers and bronzes. It had only 3 rares, and I managed to pack Neymar out of that, and 650,000 coins is what I sold him for. So pretty good there because it did allow me to do some more trading. Now you guys can see on the top left corner, I absolutely have no coins. 1,200, but that's not an issue. I am gonna start selling a few cards that are deep into profits very soon, maybe tonight, so that I can gather the most coins possible in order to buy some more for birthday, especially the squad 2. So here is the transfer list. As for now, 4 De Bruyne's, 2 Koulibalys, 3 Ndidis, 2 Pepes. I think that's 6 Lucas Moura, 3 matches. That's 7 Gaitas, 1 Rafa, 1 Schwolo, 1 Peperena, 7 Kolasinaks, 2 Mason Mounts, basically all informs as for now. 5 Debucci, 5 Hubners. Then we get into Foot Birthday, which I do have a lot of investments. I had 3 Gaitans. I sold 2 today at 22, which were bought at around 19 and a half. So a bit of profit, but I did it mostly because I needed some transfer list space. So once again, I basically looked at Gaitan as being the one that had the less upside. So I just wanted some space in my transfer list, so I sold 2, but I kept 1. I have a ton of Koreas. I don't even know how much. I've got quite a few Eggsteins, which were bought yesterday at 62 and 64. That's not looking very good at the moment, but I am quite positive that he is going to rise out of packs. I have a bunch of Lozanos. I've got 1 more Jenny left. I have two Cancelos that were bought at 180. This is looking really, really good. I have a Havertz at 388 with a Hunter. I still have a fresh Rashford, which I'm lazy listing at the moment. And I have a fresh Alan St. Maximin, which I'm also listing very high. Both of them are listed for 2 days. I really don't want to sell those cards. I do think they can rise quite a fair bit. So I am kind of listing them for 2 days just to make sure I don't sell them, because I do think there is way more upsides on both of those cards. I did pack out of the last 81 plus, which I did about 30 minutes before content drop, before it expires. I opened the pack and I packed an untradeable Dabur, so I have this one right here, which I'm just gonna list very quickly there. Now, usually you guys that have been watching my uploads for a while now, you do know that I basically lazy list them at crazy prices, and I wait for them to get to the price that I want to sell them at, and then I readjust the price. But meanwhile, I do get quite a lot of lazy sales, so I am basically taking this approach. What I did with the coins, I bought a few more egg stains, about four at 54, 51, 55, and 54, which basically is around 54,000. I do think there is very good upside with that card, so I really want to take advantage. Now, I don't know what I'm doing at the moment, so I'm just going to send them to the transfer list. And I bought a Danny DaCosta at 206. I do think he's around 215 or 210 at the moment. And I bought a Douglas Costa once again at 570. This is a card that I did speak about in yesterday's upload. I really think this card has a lot of room to go higher. So I did buy one as well. Let's get to the point and speak about the trading. I have a few things that I did myself when the game first came out, so I am going to share that with you guys. I did have a look today to see if those still work, and yeah, it does still work. So what I did at the beginning, when I did not have a lot of coins, I was basically doing chem style trading. Now, there used to be chem style trading on players, but nowadays the margin is very tight. So basically, to make 20k profit, you would need to trade the whole day, which is not worth it. For me, if you spend 3 to 4 hours trading a day, it's really not worth it. You should be able to make coins by trading maybe an hour a day. So these are the things which I do think you guys have good opportunities of making coins. So basically, what you want to do here is that if we have a look at the shadow price at the moment, so the shadows are basically around, I'd say 17k, okay, 18k. So shadows are selling for 18k at the moment. Now, if you guys see, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, shadows were selling for around 22 up to maybe even 25. Because of an SBC, which was Malang Sar, that came out that did require a shadow. Now, if you guys see in my team right here, I completed the SBC, but the shadows were just so expensive that I did not want to put a shadow on him. So what I did is that I applied an anchor. So what you want to do here is during rewards, a lot of people open packs, right? What they get. Now, a lot of people that finish, let's have a look here so we can get a better idea. If we go into FUT Champions leaderboard, now let's have a look. People that finish gold 3, they get a mega pack, 2 mega packs, right? Gold 2, you get 2 rare mega packs. So silver 1, same thing. A lot of people are getting mega packs. Now, what happens with the mega packs is that when everyone opens them, there's a lot of shadows that come into the market. What you want to do is during rewards day, you want to buy the shadows. Now, you do know that at the moment they're selling for around 18k. What you want to do is during rewards, either you have a look and try and get a snipe on them. If you can't get the snipe, then do invest in them at around 15k. I do think around 15k you can't really go wrong on shadows, because it takes one SBC where the player has very good sprint speed but less acceleration, and people start buying shadows. So this is one way of doing it. You can do the same with anchors, and you can do the same with even like my favorite, which I was trading with the most because they were cheaper, was Squad Fitness. Now, Squad Fitness, I did make bank on them when they were at the beginning of the game, when we had that glitch where Squad Fitnesses were not required in order to have full fitness on your team. At that time, they were selling for around 500, even 600 coins. I did invest a ton on them, and they went all the way up to maybe 1,200. It did take around 2 months for that to be fixed, if I'm not mistaken. So what you can do is that during rewards, those squad fitnesses go down to around 800. You can even get snipes for lower than that. At the moment, you can see they're around 700. It's very difficult getting them, but if you keep trying, you will get quite a few. All you have to do is get maybe deep into the pages, and you will be able to get a few. So what you want to do is to hold them until weekend league starts. When weekend league starts, squad fitnesses usually go for around 1200 at a minimum. If not, they sometimes even go to 1300. So you can make around 50 to 60% profit on that as well. So that is one thing which I was doing. Where I was making the most coins, I'm gonna show you guys that trick. When we have a promo or on rewards day, what you want to do is that you want to go onto the market, you want to check the top 5 leagues, you want to go on center back because center backs are always required for challenges. Now during a promo, like for example for birthday, we got more than 6 or 7 that I can remember challenges for packs. So what you want to do is go to the top 5 leagues, which is the Premier League. There is Ligue 1 as well. There is Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga. Now, my favorites were La Liga, Serie A, and the Premier League. So this works during a promo once again and during marquee matchups. What you want to do is go to center backs and try and get as many center backs that you can get for 500 coins. Do not exceed 500 coins because there is a reason why, which I'm going to explain to you guys later on. But what you want to do is to get the most. Now, at the moment, it's going to be very difficult for me to get even at 700. You want to buy the gold center backs. Now, what happens there is that at the moment, it's very difficult getting them. During rewards day, just have a look. As soon as the rewards are dropped, 5 minutes later, if you open this filter on any top 5 leagues, you're going to see hundreds of center backs being listed for 500 coins. You want to grab the most you can. Go unassigned on them. There is no issues whatsoever. You want to do the same thing with every top league. During marquee matchups, they do have different formations. There's basically, usually we have around 4 teams with different formations. Now, sometimes wingers are not required because, for example, it's a formation that does not have wingers. But center backs will always be required. Even fullbacks are sometimes not required, but center backs, in every formation, you have center backs. Goalkeepers, usually they do not rise all that much. So what you want to do is to grab them. Once you're done doing this, what you can do is one last time go on center back, go on gold, and buy Argentina. Now, Argentina, I have no idea why. Maybe because out of the list, it's the first nation. But Argentinian players usually rise a ton if they are required. And what happens with that is that during marquee matchups, you will be able to sell every single center back for over 1K. Let's say a marquee matchup came out. It requires, let's say, one player from Monaco, from Ligue 1. Now, every single center back from Ligue 1 will gain heavily in value. They will go for around 1K. And sometimes what happens is that you get that jackpot where you picked up a ton of players, a ton of center back from a certain league, but you have one team more than the other, and that team is required in the marquee matchups. It happened to me a lot of times, and those players jump all the way up to maybe 3K, 4K. So what you want to do is to make sure you buy gold center backs from top 5 leagues and that are non-rare. Do not buy the rare center backs. The rares are basically the ones that rise the less, but usually non-rares are the one that get the less supply. It's funny to say, but yeah, non-rares are rarer on the market than rares. So this is another thing which I was doing at the beginning of the game, and I can guarantee you guys that there is a lot of profit in that. I used to see my TP at the end of the week. It used to be around 100 to 150K. I could easily make, by buying 200-300 players on rewards day, which would end up costing me around 50K. I was able to make around 70 up to 100K profit every single marquee matchup. So that's another thing that you guys can do. One more trick that I do have is to invest into dead markets. Now, dead markets, basically at the moment, you have dead markets on maybe 84s, but 84s, now this is tough for me to explain to you guys because we did get an SBC today, which was requiring 84s. But yesterday, when I was planning this video, the 84s were pretty low. This SBC, oldie but goldie, requires 84s, and this is what's making the 84s a bit more inflated. But usually during rewards day, whether it's squad battles or weekend league rewards, you will be able to get guys that usually jump up the most in price when an SBC requires them. A guy like Pepe, you can end up getting for 4K, 5K. At the moment, because of a single SBC, you can see he's currently almost extinct on the market. So this is a player that usually rises. Have a look on Footbin, the players that rise the most on every single rating. I can give you guys an example. I do know Jadon Sancho is a guy that usually rises a ton during an SBC that basically requires 85s or 84 rated squads. And you can see right here, he's around 9,000 coins at the moment. And the reason being, he's a right mid, English links from the Bundesliga. Bundesliga is a league in which a lot of players rated between 83 to 86s are very, very cheap compared to other leagues. And this is what's making Jadon Sancho very, very valuable. Another player that usually rises a ton when we speak about 83s this time, it's going to be Raul Albiol. You guys can get Albiol for 2,500 coins, 3K during rewards or squad battles. Usually when an 84, 85 rated squad is required, he usually jumps all the way up to 5K. I've seen him and I've sold him at 7K at times. I've even seen him at 8K at times. So that's another player that usually goes pretty high. There's other examples with guys like Sirigu. Sirigu is another guy that usually jumps up in price. If you have a look at his graph, before this SBC, I'm pretty sure he was selling for around 25 to maybe 3K. 2,500 coins, 3K is basically what you can get him for during rewards. There's a lot of players like that. I can think of 100 players in my head. There's guys like Dembele, who is from La Liga, right wing. French links is usually very popular. Douglas Costa, Canales, Fekir. There's a lot of players like that which you guys can target. Now have a look on Footbin. What are the players that are currently high because of the 84 rated requirements on oldie but goldie? Keep them in your mind and do buy them during rewards. And that's something in which you guys can make a ton of coins. No need to go unassigned. Bid on them. Keep them in your transfer targets. I guarantee you guys, if it's not within a few days, maximum a week, they will rise in price and you guys will be able to make coins. I've done that hundreds of times when I had very low budget in terms of coins. I was doing that. I was stocking up on guys like De Vrij, who's a center back, Albiol, Sirigu. Those are the players that I was buying a ton. Even with 83s, it's very much doable. David Luiz is one guy whom I do know. Usually, a lot of times he even goes extinct on the market because of the links that he provides. He's from the Prem. As you guys are aware, he has Brazilian links, which is a massive, massive advantage in terms of solutions. Same thing with a guy like Alex Telles, who's an 84 rated. There is Anthony Martial, who's another guy that you guys can invest on. He's usually a player that sometimes drops below 5K. As soon as an SBC comes out, he usually rises. Now, at the moment, he's pretty cheap as well. I've seen this guy going all the way up to 8, 9K very, very easily. In terms of another 83, there's a guy from Liga Nos who's Grimaldo. Grimaldo usually rises a ton because he soft links to Pepe, who usually goes extinct. So that's another guy whom you guys can invest on. There is Romagnoli as well. Romagnoli, because he strong links to Sirigu. He usually is sometimes even around 1,500 on on lightning rounds, I've seen this guy dropping all the way down to 1100 coins. I've seen him multiple times, and you guys can see at the moment 84 rated requirement on the oldie but goldie, and look at this guy at 6k. If you guys had him in your transfer targets, even 3 or 4 of him, by investing 4k, you've just made 24k. So there's a lot of potential in that, and this may be my favorite method during lightning rounds or during pack supply, whether it's reward squad battles or even pack challenges that just came out. Have a look at those cards, because for SBCs, we're just gonna get more and more SBCs from now till the end of the game cycle, because EA wants to suck as much coins as possible before team of the season. So we're gonna get a ton of SBCs. Just do make sure you guys stock up on those players. If you have a bit more coins, there's 85s which are good as well, but this I do speak a lot in my uploads, so I am gonna let you guys know about that. But in terms of 83, 84s, do invest in those players that have good links. The last thing which I do want to speak about is League SBC players. There is a few guys that are very, very good. During lightning rounds, they drop a ton, or during rewards. Do have a look at those players. Just go on Footbin, go on a team's solution, a League SBC team solution. Basically, there's a few players that are always required. If you guys want to do Borussia Dortmund SBC, then you do need Guerrero. Most of the time, you do need him. And at the moment, you guys can see his price should be around 1800 coins. Okay, so he's even higher. He's around 2k at the moment. During lightning rounds, you can get that guy for even 1200 coins. What you guys can do is stock up on him, buy a lot of him. There's another player that's there. It's Thorgan Hazard. Once again, Dortmund, right mid this time. This guy usually jumps up to sometimes even 4k. There you go, you can see it right there. There's also a guy from, once again, Bundesliga, who's Yusuf Poulsen. Yusuf Poulsen is also a guy that usually goes up. Now, at the moment, he's in the team of the week. This is why he's a bit more expensive. But usually you can grab him for 850 coins and be able to sell him later on. There's Halstenberg as well. There's Zielinski from Napoli. He's another guy that usually goes up when there's less supply in the market. You guys can see right here, he's selling at the moment, being 81 rated. He's selling for around 2k on the market because he is required being a midfielder from Napoli. If you guys have a look at Napoli's SBC, there is a need of 5 midfielders. So he is one of those. Same goes for Liverpool with James Milner, Joe Gomez. There's Man City with Otamendi, Zinchenko, and Foden. Now, Foden is very, very interesting. If you guys have a look here at 76 rated player, he usually jumps up. Now, at the moment, we did get some kind of supply today, but usually you can see him easily being 1200, 1300 coins. And during lightning rounds, you can get this guy on bids for 650, 700 coins. So do have a look at that. There's a ton of other players from League SBCs. Just go on Footbin and see the solutions for yourself, and you will be able to find a ton of players. So target those players because they usually rise a ton. So this is basically what I did. By doing this, I made around 10 million coins TP before I was able to trade special cards and to make way more. But this is something which I still do sometimes. Sometimes when I feel that I'm stuck, I don't have enough coins, I usually do them with informs. You guys can see here how many 49 informs, which are all discard. It's basically the same thing as gold players on discard price. I am waiting for them to go up and I'll make a few coins on them. I've done it multiple times and I'm still doing. At times when I see that during lightning rounds 83s are too cheap, I go ahead and I make a club stock. I sometimes store them in my transfer list if I have space, because usually they do rebound very fast. For the League SBC players, I forgot to tell you guys, it takes only an hour or two for those cards to rebound. Because a lot of people, when the lightning rounds will be over, they want to open some more packs. The only way you can open some more packs is by completing the League SBCs. And if you want to complete those League SBCs, you need those League SBC players. And this is when they come onto the market and they start buying them. And you guys will be able to take advantage of that. If this video helped you guys, then please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know in the comments down below if anything I missed out, or if anything you guys want to know more, or if any questions, I'll do my best to try and answer them. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.